pugilism planet. What is going on? You know who it is. You know who it is. Jay Roos is in the building. I'm in the building. Y'all come in. Y'all come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on in the building, y'all. Come on in the building. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. 1 second. All right, I'm back in effect. I'm gonna wait for some people to come on in. Hopefully you guys are hitting your notification bell so you know when I'm gonna go live and stuff like that, when I have premieres, when I have interviews, all that stuff. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way in. And let's just talk a little boxing. Of course, I believe Dillian White is fighting today, which is kind of odd that he's fighting in Ireland, but what's also odd is that I think he's fighting on a Sunday. Now, did he fight last night and I just missed it? Um, 1 second again, y'all. 1 second. Okay, I is back. I is back. Jay Roosteri is back. And we're going to talk some pugilism. You think we ain't when we are? So, like I've said, I wasn't able to see the Joyce fight yesterday because I simply couldn't find where to watch it. He out here in the States, it's normally on ESPN, but I don't know. I don't know what's up with that situation. But yeah, I don't know where to watch it. So I watched my homie Andrew Tucker do a live stream on it, and he brought that energy, and it was like I was watching it. So from what I saw, and then I went back later and watched the highlights, and looked like Cash Ali. You know, he put up a much better fight than I thought he would. I thought he'd be out of there in 2 or 3 rounds. Also, I thought that Joyce would be trying to prove a point. So I thought he'd be trying to get him out of there quicker. It went the whole 10, and Joyce stopped him in the 10th round. From what it looked like when the ref was counting, when Cash Ali was trying to get up, it looked like I thought he beat the count. Now maybe I'm wrong, but Cash Ali thought he beat the count too. That's why it's best just to not get knocked down in the first place. But Joyce makes a statement nonetheless. And Dillian White could be a good fight for him, possibly, if Dillian wins his fight against Christian Hammer. If Dillian doesn't win that, just scratch what I said. But I want to talk about Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, against Joe, the Juggernaut Joyce. Now, before Joyce lost to Zhang twice, I told people Joyce is just too strong and heavy to fight Deontay Wilder. I don't think that anymore. I think because of the accumulated punches to Joyce and being beaten by Zhang twice and even dropped, I think that perhaps Deontay can catch him with something. But Deontay has to make sure his mind is right, first of all. He's got to leave the drugs alone, the smoking, the quit making music videos until you're done, or make sure you're doing it when you don't have a training camp coming up. Just make sure you're focused, and I'd like to see him come in a little heavier. I think Deontay is best around 220. I mean, the guy is listed at what, 6'7", so he can hold the 220. You're gonna have a little bit of weight on you when you're fighting these big heavyweights, because they're gonna be throwing their body into the punches, and in the clinches you don't want that to drain you. And I kind of wonder, is that what happened in the Fury fights? You know, Fury weighed a lot more, so you put that weight, especially on those little thin legs of Deontay's, might zap your energy. You know, he's blaming his costume and all types of things and people messing with his water, but more than that, I think it was the weight of Tyson Fury that was really bothering him. And so, you know, I think he's got to get his weight up to 220, which shouldn't be too hard to do at 6'6". I meant to check the weight of Joyce, but apparently he was really high up in the weight, because I saw an interviewer ask him about his weight, and Joyce was like, "I don't concern myself with weight." So apparently it was way up. I'm guessing by the looks of him, he was probably around 270. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Salute, brother. Hey, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. I appreciate the love. Bruce Gas in the building. I appreciate that, man. Bruce Gas. Go subscribe to him if you haven't. Dropping boxing knowledge over there, you know. I'm just over here talking some Joyce, Deontay Wilder, a fight I would like to see. Hopefully Prince Turkey will watch this live stream if he's not watching now. I want to see that fight because both guys have something to prove. He was 284? Are you serious? Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of weight, man. Joyce and Zhang, man, I mean, I know they're tall and all, but 284? That is a lot of weight. And the thing about it, Joyce isn't really a knockout puncher. He's more of a thudding, wear you down type of puncher. If he could learn, if he's going to be weighing that from now on, or in the upper 270s, if he could learn how to put his weight into his shots, he could be a really devastating knockout puncher. See, Zhang knows how to put his weight into his shots. He couldn't keep Joseph Parker down, but nevertheless, he knocked him down because he knows how to put his weight into his punches. You know, if you're throwing arm punches or stuff like that, then what's the point of weighing 284? That weight's working against you instead of for you. That's the thing about being heavy. If you're going to be heavy, make it work for you. No sense in coming in 284 and you're just doing this and, you know, I'm going to just jab and not put your weight into it. Lean into it. Ugh. From the feet up. I watched the fight. He got the KO, but he was almost 300 pounds. Wow. Shout out to Quan Big Guns, man. Shout out to you. Yeah, that's a lot of weight, man. I know Cash Ali was talking about in the press conference, he was talking about Joyce eating and all that. I didn't know he was going to come in that heavy. I mean, Joyce is a naturally big guy, but I don't know that being that heavy is going to help him in the long run. I guess maybe it depends on his opponent. Maybe he thought the heavier I am, I'll wear Cash Ali out. I don't know what he weighed, but he didn't look at he weighed around 280 next to Joyce. I knew Joyce looked pretty big from the highlights that I saw. So, I mean, any punch from a man that big is gonna get your attention and maybe even hurt you. But my thing is just, like I said, if you're not gonna put your weight into the punches, then why even weigh that much? It's not really helping you. It's just gonna fatigue you. You're gonna get your energy zapped every time you miss a punch. Remember when George Foreman made his comeback and he was in the 250s? We're like, man, that is huge, man. That is huge. Now, by today's standards, it doesn't even stand out. But I know Joyce said he's not concerned with his weight, but I don't know. It seems like he and Zhang are going up, and Deontay's weight is dropping. What did Deontay weigh for his last fight with Joseph Parker? And Coach James Bashir was there, working with Jarrell Miller, and he said he said Deontay had all kind of stuff in his pockets, cell phones, keys, wallet. I guess he was trying to weigh more than what he was, because I know when I saw him hitting the pads in the dressing room before he came out to fight Parker, I was like, man, he's looking extra thin tonight. I was like, we'll see if he's ready. Sure enough, it didn't seem like he was ready, but I think he and Joe Joyce have to, if they don't meet next, they're gonna have to meet eventually, because they got a lot to prove. There's a lot of people out there that are doubting both of them, and not too many people, I don't think, are too impressed with Joseph Parker stopping Cash Ali in the 10th round. The, this Joyce would lose to Dubois. Yeah, I think this. I thought Dubois was winning the first fight till he got caught. It seemed like there were a couple times I thought Joyce was going down, and he managed to stay up. But yeah, I don't know if this Joyce would be able to handle Dubois. He's just really, really slow. I don't think I've ever seen a heavyweight that slow in my life. I mean, I guess it works for him. I've said before, maybe his punch is like so slow that the opponent's like, no, that can't possibly land. I see it coming all the way. There's no way, bam, and then it hits you while you're still contemplating if it'll land. So maybe that's what it is. But I have never, in all my years of watching boxing, I've never seen anybody quite as slow as Mr. Juggernaut. I just haven't seen it. Now, maybe it's out there, but I haven't seen it. I don't think even Butterbean looked that slow. But I like Joe Joyce. He's a nice guy inside and outside the ring. And he was kind of dropping a little bit of foul language in the press conference, which is something I'm not used to hearing from him. He could cut that out. But he still seems like a nice guy. Wilder should fight Dubois. Joyce not ready yet. I don't think Wilder's ready for Daniel Dubois. I just don't. I don't think because Dubois is kind of a pressure fighter, and Deontay doesn't do good taking pressure. He just. I think Dubois is very strong, very big, and he can punch, as Jarrell Miller found out. He can knock you out with one punch. So I don't know if Deontay's ready for that challenge. I think someone slow and plodding like Joyce would be a better choice for him. Maybe not a better choice for Joyce. Yeah, that rhymed. Choice for Joyce. I like Joyce too, but we all know 300 pounds is not good. Yeah, 280 some is, oh man. I might have to go back and look at the weigh-in. Like I said, he did an interview where he said he doesn't concern himself with the weight anymore. He said, you can see my abs. So, okay, we can see your abs, but how's that going to help you with your breathing? That's a lot of weight to carry around, man. A lot of weight. And if, say, he's fighting another big guy like Anthony Joshua, and they're doing a lot of clinching on the inside, and he's putting his weight on and on Joyce, they're putting their weight on each other. That weight's going to start to feel even heavier than what you were before. And another thing too, if he weighed that at the weigh-in, he might have weighed more on the day of the fight. Fighters be weighing more when they step into the ring than they did than they did at the weigh-in. They probably just had a salad before the weigh-in, and then after the weigh-in they eat. So he might have been like 290 or close to 300. Quan says maybe you're right, but if Wilder could KO Dubois, it's a huge statement. Oh yeah, that would be a real huge statement if Deontay could muster up the will to focus on his career. He wants to retire soon anyway, from what I'm hearing. So if you're going to retire soon anyway, you might as well just keep the tunnel vision until you retire. He's probably got 1 or 2 years left. So if that's what he wants to do, but just focus on your boxing career. You know, because you don't, like I said, you don't want to play around with boxing. You don't want to get hurt. Mark Nash TV in the building. Shout out to you, Mark. That was a great live stream you did the other night, man. That was a great live stream. Mark's platform, we both cover other things other than boxing, because sometimes boxing is slow, so there's nothing going on. We cover other topics rather than just, you know, we're well rounded, I should say. We can talk other things. So shout out to Mark Nash TV. Y'all subscribe to the homie. Appreciate that. Bruce Gas giving a shout out to Mark Nash. We got some heavy hitters in the building today. Some heavy hitters. Y'all subscribe to Bruce Gas Boxing, Jazz, and more, and Mark Nash TV. Shout out to both of y'all. Shout out to Counterpunch Boxing News. Kurt, what's going on, Kurt? But yeah, I would like to see Joyce and Deontay Wilder, hopefully, during, in a couple months, perhaps. Because both guys, who else? I mean, Andy Ruiz. We keep talking about Andy Ruiz, but I don't think he and Wilder are going to ever fight. I just don't think so. Mark Nash TV says, man, I don't know about Wilder versus Joyce. Yeah, I used to favor Joyce, but I don't know now, man. Joyce is coming in heavier and heavier, and the fact that he went 10 rounds with a guy like Cash Ali, I'm like, I might have to favor Wilder now. Mark Nash TV says Wilder's era of reign is over. Yeah, I agree with that 100% over. I don't see him being a champion again. Yeah, against Wilder, not letting his hands go like Adrian Broner. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's not letting his hands go. And that's the thing Zhang was doing. I don't know what it is about fighters that just sit around and walk around like this. Like, why would you take just unnecessary punishment? I'm going to try to throw something, if nothing else, just to keep the opponent off of me. Like they say, the best defense is an offense. Parker been fighting 4 times a year. He's ready again for any of them. Yeah, I don't think Wilder even wants a rematch with Parker, at least no time soon. He might talk that talk, but I don't think he wants no more of a Mr. Parker. Andy Ruiz is sitting around waiting for AJ Trilogy and that huge paycheck. Yeah, for real. That's what it seems like. It's always money. It's like, how much money do you need once you hit the millie department? What do you really need unless you're just overspending buying 5 cars? You can only drive 1 car at a time. Why do dudes need 10 cars just to floss, man? MTV Cribs don't come on no more. We don't want to see your garage and your car collection, man. Mark Nash TV says Zhang's a different case. In my opinion, he was tired and looking for one shot, but Wilder is different. Yeah, Zhang was like looking for that one shot, and I don't know why. Well, I think I know why he didn't try to go in for the finish with Parker. I think he was just exhausted. I think that weight was working against him, man. These dudes are coming in heavier and heavier. Parker deserves a Usyk fight. Quan Big, that would actually be a interesting fight right there, man. Yeah, that's kind of a hard one to pick. I might go with Usyk slightly, just because he's so tricky. Mark Nash TV says he leans back, chin up, and arms stretched out. Not a good defense. Yeah, like the Zhang was too heavy. Yeah, he had arms stretched out defense like Hasim Rockman did against Lennox Lewis. He thought he did this defense, and Lewis just went over the top. Pow! My reach is longer, Hasim. Yeah, the Frankenstein defense was not a good defense at all. They teach you not to do one of these numbers. But Rockman paid for it. Mark Nash TV says Wilder's chin up defense going to get him KO'd again. Yeah, I think he should personally get rid of Malik Scott, but Deontay thinks he needs to have all these fanboys around him that's just bigging him up. I think Malik Scott should have been gone. What is he? Just won one fight out of the three. I think he's 1-2 or something like that. But I'm not big on Malik Scott. He does some pretty good interviews and stuff where he kind of lets himself off the hook. And I'm like, most trainers, if their fighter loses, they kind of put themselves on the hook. But this dude, he seems to like try to over explain himself, and it's not really a good look. Yeah, Hellenius was the only win, and I'm one of the few people that thought that fight was a little bit iffy. I thought, I know Deontay can punch and all, but it looked like he didn't even follow through with the punch, and Hellenius was just out cold. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was legitimate, but that's the only win, like you said, that Malik Scott has with Deontay Wilder. If I was Deontay, I would just probably clean up my whole camp. I'd probably get rid of JDs too, man. I just get rid of all the yes men. I bring in people that know boxing a lot better. 1-3 is their record, man. That is not good, man. That is not good. It's not good in the NFL, and it's not good in boxing. I've said this many times, and Tim Witherspoon said it, and Malik got mad at him. But we both say, how are you going to get a guy to train you that you beat? I'm not going to hire some dude that I knocked out to come teach me how to fight. I'm just not doing it. Maybe it makes sense in a weird kind of, you look at it weird, but to me, it don't make any sense. JD's is the worst. Yeah, I'm not a big JD's guy. He seems like the ultimate fanboy. Like he's just gonna big up Deontay if Wilder trains 1 day a month. Hey man, he don't need to train. He's got natural power. He can only train 1 day a month. I mean, it works for him. Yeah, JD's nah. Yeah, I'm not a JD's guy. Although he was honest when he talked about Deontay Wilder got knocked down early on in his career, because you can't find that fight nowhere on YouTube, but it happened out of JD's mouth. Do you think it's yes men or just loyalty? Uh, I think it's both with JD's. I think he's loyal and he's a yes man. With Malik Scott, I think he's just a straight up yes man, because he hasn't even been around Wilder that long to act like he owes him some type of loyalty, or Deontay's loyal to him. They have a weird type of relationship. Didn't what does that say? Arturo Gotti uh get trained by Ward? Actually, I don't know about that. I have to look into that. I don't know. That's a good question. I like Andre Ward. I still haven't seen his documentary, but I hear good things about it. You are talking about Andre Ward, right? Or thank you. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I was like Andre Ward. I was like, there's another Ward, right? Yeah, Mickey Ward. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I'd have to look into that, man. It's a good question. He beat Mickey Ward, and Ward was later his trainer. Wow, that's interesting. How did it work out? Did they have some wins together, or was it like Wilder and Malik? Yes, it happened. It was a rhetorical oh, okay, I got you. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know the thinking behind that, man. I think Deontay's not as confident as he likes to portray himself. So I think he needs people around him that are just going to compliment him, or I think his self esteem sinks. You know, I don't understand that type of person. Gotti was at the end of his career. Oh, okay. Okay, I understand now. Yeah, I would never bring in somebody that I beat. especially in that situation where it looked like it was a fix anyway. So I'm not trying to link myself up with this dude. It just looks, it's just not something I would do. But Deontay's his own man, and he does a lot of questionable stuff that I definitely wouldn't do. But if he's happy with that record working with Malik, then more power to him, I guess. But you see what's happening when he's fighting these top caliber fighters, so you might want to do a switch up. Mr. Malik Scott. Pretty sure I'll never get an interview with Malik because I go pretty hard on Malik. He always says when he's on these shows, you can ask me anything, but I don't think he's ready for the stuff I would ask him. I don't understand how Wilder never questions JD's, but he was quick to throw a glorified boxing legend Breland under the bus. Yeah, that was whack. Mark Breland was crying in the locker room after the knockout to Fury in the second fight, from what I hear, and I don't even think he consoled him. Like, hey man, it's all right, it's all good. Yeah, that was whack, man. Yeah, if Deontay's gonna be loyal to JD's and Malik Scott, why wasn't he loyal to Mark Breland, man? People bring in guys they beat for sparring all the time, but being the head coach, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe he could be in the corners like, you know, a cheerleader and bring in just someone that's gonna, like I said, with Deontay, he's always hitting the pads and he looks good over the internet. He's doing combos, he's looking fast and strong. He don't ever do that in an actual fight. Why are you not implementing the things that you're working on in the gym? There's no point in working on the combos that then if you get in a fight and you're just a basic 1-2 fighter. And he's got to work on some other punch other than the overhand right. The heavyweights now have totally acclimated to that style and they've studied it and they know what to do. The top fighters, they just know. I've been saying for the longest, all you got to do is crowd the dude. You crowd his space, he's not going to hit you with that right. He needs room to throw it. He cocks it back. You see him pushing his knuckles into, pushing his knuckles into the glove. So he needs room to throw it. So crowd his space. Fight him on the inside. I'm not going to stand at range with a dude that can punch and that's like setting yourself up for a straight knockout. But, I guess a lot of boxers want to prove I can take a punch. Okay. Okay. Let me know how that works out for you. But yeah, I would demote Malik if I didn't get rid of him altogether. And he would have to either be a cut man or a hype man, but he ain't gonna be my main trainer. That's just not happening. Deontay should get somebody in there that can teach him. I would just have that dude have a whole training camp of left hooks and uppercuts. I'd be like, okay, we already know you got the right hand mastered. We already know. We got to kind of mix it up here and disguise it a little bit. You start knocking somebody out with a left hook, then you give them something else to think about. But right now, all you have is an overhand right, and looks like these heavyweights are ready for it. But that's just me, What do I know? I only predict most of the fights right. What do I know? But I think Dillian White is fighting tonight. I don't think he fought last night because I didn't hear anything. But he's fighting Christian Hammer over in Ireland. I didn't know that Dillian White was even having a fight this quick. He just got cleared to fight. I thought it was going to be a while, but Dillian's about to get his feet wet and fight Christian Hammer. I'm assuming he'll get past Christian Hammer. And if he doesn't, then he might want to go back into hiding. If Hammer puts the hammer time on him, then yeah, I'd be like, well, okay, it's been a great career, but if you can't get past Christian Hammer, you might as well just rule out a rematch with Joshua and the top guys because the Saudis are trying to make fights that we, the public, actually want to see. Mark Nash TV says, I'm gonna watch that boxing on a Sunday. I'm in, yeah, man. What time is the fight? I don't know. I think they're 5 hours ahead, so I'm guessing this is just a guess. I'm guessing probably like the same time the fights from the UK, so probably around 5 or 6 East Coast time. I don't even know where to see this fight. I don't know if it's ESPN, DAZN, or just what. Or DAZN. DAZN always looks like DAZN. Bruce Gas says that fight would have been a good co-main event 10 years ago. Said 10 years ago. One sec, I'll check. Be right back. All right, man. Yeah, appreciate that. The Blue Baron in the building. Shout out to you, the Blue Baron. White got this, no question. Yeah, I think Dillian's got a point to prove. Yeah, I don't think we'll see Dillian get stopped or taken to the cards by Mr. Christian Hammer. Or will Hammer bring the hammer time? This fight can't be paper. Oh no, they know better. Yeah, they better not even try to make a Dillian White pay per view after uh, the little PED scandal. Shout out, bro. Hey, shout out to you. The Blue Baron is in the building. One of my moderators, and he be having some great comments. Knows his boxing, so shout out to you, Mark Nash, Bruce Gas. Oh, and my message to Jake Paul about fighting Mike Tyson, in the words of Denzel from Training Day, Jake, Jake, Jake. Like, Jake, you might want to pull out now. Mike is looking vicious. His trainer's talking about he's training to kill. You're training to fight. Head for the hills, Jake. Take it that way. Run. Get your sprint on. Get your sprint on. You do not want to fight a hungry Mike Tyson. The dude is looking diesel too. If Mike comes in there like Showbiz was saying, where he's not on anything, and you see that crazy look in his eyes, Jake might mess his shorts, man. You might need some towels on deck. Mark Nash says the time is 5:30 UK, so 1:30 main event. Ring walks approximately 10 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Do you know? Says what channel stream is White versus Hammer US? Yeah, I don't know where to see this fight. I wish it was the zone because I have the zone. I used to have ESPN, but they weren't showing any interesting fights, so I got rid of that joint. I was like, why am I paying these dudes? I don't be watching ESPN like that. Yeah, Bruce Gas. Dillian White is fighting tonight against Christian Hammer. Dillian White trying to make a comeback, make a statement. I pray for the good of boxing. Mike wins that fight. Yeah, man. Yeah, we need Mike to win that fight. We need that bad. I want Jake's mouth to be shut. Even Tyron Woodley was picking Mike Tyson. I didn't see the full interview, but Tyron Woodley was picking Mike Tyson to beat Jake Paul. I got 100 free boxing streams. Oh, wow. Wow. I got the link already for White Hammer. Wow, man, you move fast. Bruce Gas moving fast. Stallion Coy in the building. What's up, man? What's up, lad? I'm watching Manchester United versus Liverpool. Bad day for us. We're 2-1 down. Oh, for real. I like watching as you guys call it, football. It starts in an hour. Oh, okay. Maybe I can go live for that if I can see how long was White banned for. That's a good question. I know maybe at least I don't know. Was it a year? It was a while. I couldn't really see what shape he was in when he did the interview with IFL TV, but looking at his face, his face looked like he might have been in pretty good shape. You know, he looked slim and trim. I remember Mike Tyson's old trainer said they'd always know when Mike trained hard and he was in shape because they said his face was always chiseled. So you're like, okay, he trained hard, his face is chiseled. I think Mike's pre-fight meal is chicken and pasta and grapes, I believe it said. I know pasta's good before a fight. They say protein's not good before an athletic event. It can make you sleepy. It's good to have the protein after. White's not the same fighter without the PED. Same with Big Baby. It doesn't only enhance power but stamina. Yeah, Big Baby wasn't the same at all without the PEDs. He didn't even look the same. You know, he was 300 some pounds before on the PEDs, but it had some type of form to him. You know, it was he wore it well. Now he's not wearing the 300 so well. I mean, his stomach still looks flat, but it's just he doesn't look as defined from what I'm seeing. I think he still claims his innocence though, so you know, he and White, everybody's samples getting contaminated except AJ, the one they keep accusing of being on everything, yet he never tests positive. And I know they're like, well, he knows how to mask it and he knows how to do that. Well, then give him props for knowing how to mask it because you guys apparently don't know how to mask it. But I don't think AJ's on anything. His AJ's muscle looks natural. It doesn't look like a steroid body to me. Steroid bodies have a certain look. You develop an eye for a roided up body. There's only Elite Four now in heavyweights: Usyk, AJ, Fury, and Parker. For me, Joyce is shot. Zhang looks old. Yeah, Zhang looked really old in his last fight. They say certain fighters can age right in front of you. You know, in the middle of a fight, you're like, okay, he's not what I thought. You know, Zhang didn't do anything that I thought he would do. I mean, other than knock down Joseph Parker, but he didn't have the stamina or the energy to finish him. So the facts Big Baby didn't get a lifetime ban was a disgrace. He's failed about 5 drug tests. Yes, same happened with Manny. Yeah, I think things are going to get more strict, especially since Saudi Arabia seems like they're not playing any games. I think things are going to get way more strict. Um, yeah, if any of you heavyweights out there are on some PEDs, you might want to get that out of your system because the Saudis are paying big money and you don't want to get pulled from a card. You know, you're probably sitting there planning, yeah, I'm gonna get this house, I'm gonna do this, and then you pop dirty, like you ain't getting nothing now. So fight clean, don't try to be a cheat, you know, do it naturally. Did y'all see the footage of Tyson Fury shadow boxing? I've never seen Tyson Fury in this kind of shape. This dude looked like an actual athlete. I was like, wow, Tyson Fury is not playing around. I guess he feels Prince Turkey's breath like right here, like man, do not pull out. So this dude is in shape. We might get us a real good fight now. I'm thinking it was gonna be a chess match, but who knows? There's no atmospheric fights in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, but I guess we got to substitute something. At least we're getting the fights, you know. I'd rather have a good fight with no crowd than a good crowd with a bad fight, if you know what I mean. Too bad we can't get both, huh? I heard the crowd a little bit in the AJ fight though. Stallion Coy says Manny aged in one fight, and I'm glad Spence didn't fight him. Manny looked good, speed wasn't there, but I'm suspect his KO ratio stopped in his last few fights. Yeah, when you see fighters that used to knock people cold and then they just kind of stop or they content to get a decision, you're like, yeah, I'm not even slightly excited to see Pacquiao versus Conor Ben. I don't know who thought that would have looked old, not good. Yeah. Um, Once you stop sitting down on your punches and you just want to take the W and it doesn't matter to you how you get it, it's like, do any of y'all care about what the fans think? Like, we want to see some, some desire. We want to see you swing for the fences, not just out there playing tag. But yeah, Fury looked really good, man. He looked really, really slim. It was a good slim too. It wasn't like he just starved himself slim. I think that's what Riddick Bowe did in his rematch with Andrew Galata. My buddy Arturo, I used to work with at FedEx. He was like, I don't think Riddick trained. He's like, I think he just starved himself. He's like, that's not training. Like you just go, you just go a couple weeks and don't eat, and they be like, oh man, he looks fit. Nah, you just didn't eat. And Galata was knocking him around like he didn't eat. I remember Riddick came in with real skinny legs. I'm like, I don't remember Riddick's legs ever looking like that. And he didn't have no legs under him in that rematch either. Who you got in the Fury Usyk fight? Originally, I had Fury, but when it seemed like he kept ducking Usyk, I went with Usyk. So I think I'm gonna stick with Usyk though. Usyk's always in shape. Just seeing Fury at the football match today on TV, when presenter asked how you feeling going into the Usyk fight, it's like a wow. So he's what did he go on one of his F bomb rants? I hate when Fury and these fighters talk about when they just start cussing all the time. I'm like, you're saying you're a Christian. That doesn't go together, man. He said, ask me in 9 weeks' time. Wow. So who do you have in the fight? I got Usyk, but and I think if Usyk doesn't win, I think it's gonna be a draw. That's what I think. I want Tyson Fury to win because I'd rather see Fury AJ than Usyk AJ. So I want Fury to win. I just don't think anyone knows how to solve that Usyk equation just yet. I think Fury might know because he told AJ to go to his body in the rematch. So I think he's gonna try to attack Usyk's body. But when I saw Usyk training, it looks like he's preparing to be attacked to the body. So I don't know how effective Tyson Fury will be going to Usyk's body. The dude is a master class boxer. Usyk is Lomachenko in a heavyweight body, man. And he's not as small as people think either. When I saw him face to face with Fury and he picked up Fury, he's not that is not that noticeable. This especially since Fury's coming in so slim and trim, it's not gonna look that noticeable. Stallion says I had Usyk winning, but the Dubois shows me he's slowing down and can be hurt. Yeah, that showed me that too. I didn't like the bit of the acting job he was doing either. Blue Baron says if Fury puts in the effort like it looks he is, I think he'll be too much. Man, you could be right. I used to feel at one point that I would never go against Fury, but it just really looked to me like he didn't want no parts of Usyk. So, like I always say, I felt like he must be seeing something I'm not seeing. So I had to rethink that. But I might change. We have till what May 20th, so I might change my opinion between now and then because maybe I'll see some footage or something that stands out, and might change. It's day to day. Stallion Coy says, I don't think he's filled into a pure heavyweight, not like Holyfield or a David Hay did, but that's good genetics. Well, there was a time before the AJ rematch where I saw Usyk and he was looking pretty muscular. And even when I just watched him the other day reacting to AJ Ngannou, just the shirt he had on, he looked pretty muscular through the shirt. So I think he's actually filled into a heavyweight body. I think he has. He's not, Holyfield was like just really looked like Apollo Creed though. Apollo Creed and Holyfield were about the same, and they're both 6'2". Carl Weathers is like 220 in the Rocky movies, and Holyfield around 215. So they're about the same weight and height. Evander didn't have that ego of Apollo Creed though, huh? Of course, Apollo Creed was based off Muhammad Ali, as I'm sure you all know. Adrian. Thing is, he has power for sure, but I don't know if that power is enough to stop Fury. Fury. Oh, let me see. Wait till the comment blows up. Fury's a dirty fighter, uses elbows and gets away with it. Yeah, Mike Tyson throws elbows too, forearms. So I hope Jake's ready for that. Yeah, I don't think by any means Usyk is gonna stop Fury with one shot. I think he'll just outbox him and just give him fits. The Blue Baron says, I do honestly believe Fury's height and reach will play a massive part. Yeah, if he can use that reach like Lennox Lewis used to do, if you know how to use your reach, then yeah, it's hard to beat a guy with a reach and a hard jab. But Usyk is a southpaw. I don't know how many southpaws that Fury has fought. AJ does well against southpaws other than Usyk, so we'll have to see if Fury can handle all that jittery feints, and they both feint a lot, so might be a battle of the feints. Yeah, reach is very important if you know how to use it. That's definitely true. Like I say about weight, if you don't know how to use your weight, what's the point of coming in real heavy? And if you have the reach and don't know how to use it, what's the point of having the reach? Got to know how to use what you got. Stallion says for a big guy, Tyson can move though, and his fitness levels are really good. Yeah, the winning factor here is if Fury can look like the aggressor in a close fight. Yeah, I think the championship rounds are gonna. One second. I think the championship rounds are gonna be really big in this fight. I think you want to make sure you close the show, and it's gonna be important in this fight too. Who knows how to steal a round? You want to finish each round strong because a lot of judging is funny. And I'm referring to my favorite fighter of all time, Lennox Lewis Holyfield too. Holyfield did a lot better in the rematch. Lennox Lewis pretty much blew him out in the first fight, and they gave him a draw. But that was some Don King political stuff, I believe. But in the rematch, a lot of people thought Holyfield won. And he didn't win that fight if you go back and watch it. What happened is Holyfield was hardly swinging. He was just swinging near the end of the round. And he would catch Lewis. He had one real good round towards the middle or the end. But other than that, Holyfield was just swinging like at the end of rounds. And people were like, oh man, Holyfield, no, he didn't win that fight. He was fighting very sporadic. And I think that was his game plan going in. It's like, okay, I might not have the energy to last with this big behemoth, so I'm just gonna fight at the end of these rounds. So That's my theory on that. The Jay Roos theory, to be exact. Stallion says that was betting odds. The draw was 50 to 1. You see 50 to 1 on draws anymore, more like 22 to 1. Yeah, I always wonder who comes up with these betting odds. People in Vegas, like who comes up with this stuff? Yeah, isn't Usyk favored now against Fury? I think Fury was favored in the odds. But I don't. Nobody likes to see a draw, so I want a clear cut winner. I hope it's actually one sided. So if it's one sided, I think they'll skip the rematch and just give us AJ versus the winner. If it's close, then we gotta sit around and wait for the rematch, which I don't really like. But that's just me, the J. Roots theory. You hear me clearly? Man, that was nice flow. If the fight's a draw, have a sudden death round 13. Boxing shouldn't have draws. Yeah, that's actually a brilliant thing. I've heard other people say that. Shouldn't have draws means champion gets to keep belt. Yeah, that's a good why don't they do that? Why don't they do that? If it's even, one more round. That's a great idea. Since the Saudis want to add judges and kind of change things and maybe bring in instant replay, why not? Yeah, I'm definitely all for it. That's a great idea. Stallion Coy coming up with the great ideas, man. That would definitely prevent people from being disappointed around 13. Hey, they used to fight 15 rounds before that, so why not around 13? If they need to give both corners 5 minute breaks to make it fair, then hey, do what you got to do. But yeah, I'm all for around 13. You just gave me a thought for a video, Sky and Coy. Cheers, champ. Better than six judges. Yeah, what's up with the six judges? I'm not in favor of the six judges. Like Lennox Lewis used to say, I'm gonna bring my own judges. These. Then you don't have to worry about any funny business. I remember when Eugenia, whatever her name was, talking about in the first fight, Lewis Holyfield, she couldn't see. In a round where Lewis was really beating Holyfield, she scored that round for Holyfield, saying Lewis's shoulders were so broad she couldn't see what he was doing. Like, if you don't stop, then HBO zeroed in on her face on one of the shots and they saw she had a clear view of the action. So it was some funny business going on in that fight. They didn't want the belts to go over to the UK. I just say let whoever's gonna win win. Why do you have to try to taint the outcome? Just, you know. Never been for the tainting of a boxing outcome. Just let the results happen the way they happen. And the public will have to deal with it. If your favorite fighter loses, hey, tomorrow's another day. Possibly. What's your take on VAR? It's in football. They talked about it in boxing. Also, the knockdown rule about refs counting slower or faster. Someone mentioned refs should have a stopwatch. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, is VAR like a instant replay? Is that what that is? I'm not sure what that is. I've heard them talk about it. I just wasn't sure what it is. But yeah, the ref's count is actually his count and not the actual 10 seconds. So some fighters might get more time to recover, one, two, rather than one, two, three. So yeah, I can see that argument. I'm cool with the refs count, because if they use a stopwatch, a lot of fights would be over real quick. A lot of people wouldn't recover, especially back in the days where you didn't have to go to your neutral corner when you knock a guy down. You just stand and wait over him as he gets up. Like I just saw in the Jack Dempsey Jess Willard fight how you just stood over him and whap. Can you imagine that? You trying to get your legs up underneath you and the dude's just standing over you waiting for you to get up? Buster Douglas certainly did, and Fury did against Wilder. Man, 15 count on Buster Douglas. Yeah, I remember that. He got an extra long count. Yeah. And then there's the argument that people don't want the human element outside of the sport, like they used to say in football, but football is a lot better with instant replay. People are like, no, let the refs make mistakes. That's bringing the humanity to the game. Yeah, but I want to see things happen as they were. I don't want to see any funny business because the ref didn't see something. I want to see the fighter that won get his victory. I don't want to see anybody get cheated. I've never been a fan of, oh man, he got robbed. I just don't. AJ will spoil fights. There will be a lot more disqualifications. Oh, I said AJ. I mean AI. AI will spoil fights. There will be a lot more. Oh man, yeah, we don't want that. We don't want no more disqualifications. I've seen that. I remember I was at the Lennox Lewis Henry Akinwande fight, and he kept holding, and Mills Lane warned him. Eventually, Mills stopped it. It was just excessive holding. I drove all the way to Lake Tahoe to see Henry Akinwande hold, and I think he kind of knocked Lennox Lewis down in that fight. I think Lewis said he was off balance. I think he caught Lennox on the top of the head, and I've been hit on the top of the head boxing. It's not a good feeling. No contest be bad for boxing. Yeah, we don't need anything bad for boxing, man. Boxing has already got enough going against it. So, yeah, we don't need any more corruption, do we? No corruption. More corruption than the right decisions, I feel, if we introduced into boxing. Yeah, boxing, man, imagine back in the day when the mob was involved, then you really had all types of stuff. That Ali Sonny Liston fight with that little punch, that was a bit iffy. But hey, they had a lot going on back then. The '60s were crazy. The '60s were crazy, man. If you think boxing's corrupt now, back then you might get a knock on your door from from a guy sounding like Joe Pesci offering you a deal and making you an offer you can't refuse. I gotta find out where that Dillian White fight is gonna be shown. I want to see that. I want to see how Dillian's body looks. I want to see how he fights, and because we were all doing videos like, "Where's Dillian White? APB for Dillian White. Where are you, Dillian? Dillian." AJ still calls him Dylan. I think he was called Dylan, then he switched it to Dillian. I think AJ's like, "Nah, I'm gonna call you Dylan. You disrespected me enough. You Dylan to me." Don't fight the feeling, Dylan. Oh, I also heard Bomac say that the Terrence Crawford, Chris Eubank Jr. thing is not legit. So I don't think that fight's happening. I knew it would be odd because Bomac was just working with Chris Eubank. So it's like, how's that going to work out? So, like I said, according to Bomac, who would know, works with Crawford and Chris Eubank, he said that fight is not happening. So who starts these rumors? Y'all stop starting rumors. I think that fight would have been easy for Crawford, by the way. Bruce Guest says, you just got me psyched up. I'm going on live at 3 and covering the fight. Oh man, then I'll check you out if I don't go live myself. Yeah, if I can't find it, then I'm gonna be watching you, Bruce Gas. I'm gonna be in your comment section, setting it all the way off. Set it off. Set it off. I wonder how big the arena is over in Ireland for this Dillian White fight. I don't even know who Dillian's trainer is. I know he had Harold the Shadow Knight working with him a while back from the Lennox Lewis camp, but I don't. He wasn't his main trainer though. I don't think. So I don't know who's working with Dillian. Whoever he's working. Oh yeah, I know he's working. Buddy McGirt, because I just heard him the other day. I forgot. Buddy McGirt, pretty good trainer. I know Buddy's like Dillian. Don't take no pills. If you don't know what it is, don't put it in your system. Read the labels, homie. Read the labels, top to bottom, bottom to top. I don't want to hear no more contamination in my bloodstream. I don't want to hear none of that. Stallion Coy says, I don't like UFC, but did you see Aspinall size Jones up? Aspinall's from my neck of the woods. He's huge. I think he wins. Are you talking about against John Jones? I don't think anybody beats Mr. Jonathan Jones. I think John Jones is basically unbeatable. This dude is like the epitome of mixed martial arts. This dude hits you with everything and the kitchen sink. Yeah, which I'm waiting for the comments to move up. Yeah, watch the video. Wait till you seen him. Aspinall's unbeaten too. Yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. Might be another video for me to talk about. Yeah, I don't know, because John Jones is a big dude himself. Even when he was a light heavy, I knew he could feel like I knew he had the frame of a heavyweight. That's what Daniel Cormier was saying too. He's like, when you're in there with Jones, when he was fighting at light heavy, he's like, you feel like you're in there with a heavyweight because the dude is so broad and long. I just don't see nobody beating John Jones, man. That dude is a silent assassin, man. I don't care how big they are. I don't see nobody beating Jones. No, Nate, wait till you see them to get. No, mate, wait till. Yeah, I'm going to check that out, though. I am definitely going to check that out. Aspinall put hands on Jones' shoulder. He brushes it off. He said he put his hands on John Jones' shoulder, and Jones was like, "Get off me! Get off me!" He brushes it off. I'll link you later. Yeah, man, do that. Yeah, I want to see that. But yeah, I like John Jones, man. The way he just handled Cyril Gahn, I was like, man, this dude, after having all that time off, and I thought Cyril Gahn was like the heir apparent, and Jones went in there, was like, Jones let everybody know too before the fight. He's like, I don't see anything that stands out with this dude. And he went in there just like he said, like, what can you show me that I haven't seen fight over? Cyril Gahn didn't even seem that bothered at the end of the fight. You know, I trip off that. Like, that didn't bother you. You just got whooped in front of the world. It would bother me. I'm a true competitor. Shout out to AJ and the Predator. I don't need an editor. Know what I mean? Let's see, I've been on here about an hour and 7 minutes about. So maybe it's time for me to call it a day and get ready to make some videos. I got some good ideas now, thanks to my great subscribers, my great chat. And I want to do a video about, should boxing bring in instant replay? I think boxing needs to do something else, which is check these referees, make sure they're not betting on these fights. You know how easy it is for a ref to come up on a bag, like, you know what? I'm gonna bet Canelo wins in round 4, and he's the ref. Make sure the fight is stopped in round 4. I'm not gonna mention any names of some suspect reffing that's been going on lately. You know who I'm talking about. You know. Anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate everybody that came through. Mark Nash TV, Bruce Gas Boxing, Jazz, and more. Everybody that came through. Much respect, much love. LSR forever. Remember, the Most High, Yahweh, Yeshua, HaMashiach reigns supreme. Be fearless. Yay.